we have an awesome episode. So I hope you guys enjoy. And just listen to the whole thing, alright? Later. Yo, what's up, man? Welcome back to this segment of racing content. In this episode, I want to talk about a few things. I want to kind of make this a special episode, and I want people to really reflect on how hard it really is to win races. I know that we see that Kyle Busch has over 200 wins, and they're comparing him to Richard Petty, but here's the thing. It ain't the same. Here's a man that's never drove full-time in the Xfinity Series or the Truck Series. You know, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit on that. What I want to talk about right now is the legacy of Furniture Row. Here's a company, a passionate guy whose goals were to race. They never set really expectations on the championships or the racing when they first started. They just wanted to get out there and see what they really had, you know, back in 2005 when they first started. They had 8 drivers over the course of 14 years. Only one driver out of the previous 6 even won a race. And that was Reagan Smith back in 2011 at Darlington, which he led 46 laps, which he earned that win. That's not like something fuel mileage or it wasn't by wrecks. He literally won that race because he was determined to win. It was his only win out of 224 starts. And his average start finish through his career was a 23.9 starting average and a 24.9. But nonetheless, Reagan Smith's only win is still a beautiful story, even though it's his one win. Furniture Row has 14 years, 18 wins, 1 is Reagan Smith, and 17 of those is Truex Jr. Pretty much what happened is, we remember the controversy that surrounded Truex Jr. back in 2013 when Clinton Boyer kind of spun himself out to put Truex in. That year, Napa decided to leave Michael Waltrip Racing and pretty much because of that whole situation. And that pretty much forced Truex Jr. out of a ride. So because of Kurt Busch leaving Furniture Row and headed to Stewart-Haas Racing in 2014, that blessed Martin Truex Jr., but nonetheless, he didn't find out to the end of that season. You know, it was after the season, but he found out like in November, December. So, Truex Jr. through his whole career has 20 total wins. And people don't understand how hard it really is to win these races. So, you know, and that 20 win is with Richmond this past weekend of 2019. So they had 8 different drivers in 14 years, and 2 of his drivers out of the 8 were recently Martin Truex Jr. and Eric Jones, which a lot of people probably don't know. So Kurt Busch never got no wins for Furniture Row, but he did make the playoffs, which it was hopeful for them, you know. So like I take my notes and I study. So previously, before Truex Jr. joined Furniture Row, he only had 2 wins in 8 seasons. 2006 was his breakthrough year, which became his full season. He had before that, he only had a total of 9 starts previously of 2006. Barney only had 1 win, which was Reagan Smith before Truex Jr. joined. But there was still hope. Because like I said, Kurt Busch still made the playoffs in that 78. And that's including the previous 6 drivers. So people gotta understand. We'll take a look at 2005, for example, right? A lot of people, they were mad about last year how Logano won the championship, but it's not fair because Busch or Harvick or Truex, they had 20 wins amongst each other. Busch had 8, Harvick had 8, and Truex had 4, right? But what people don't understand is, what you do in the regular season, it don't matter once playoffs comes. Like, it's up to you as a driver to succeed during the race. Just like the next previous races up until the championship, once you get to the championship, it doesn't matter what you did. No one cares about the laps you led, with top 5s or top 10s or whatever it is. Once you're in the championship, it's even grounds, just like it is when you enter the playoffs, right? So in 2005, no one ever talks about this. Kyle Busch had 8 wins that year, but he finished 10th in the standings. Kind of like people don't think about it. All right, so it took Kyle Busch 10 seasons, just like it did Logano, to win the championship. You can have all the wins you want. It doesn't matter. People have been mad and upset about how Jimmy Johnson was winning. And I seen an article in Forbes how it said for Johnson winning an 8th championship is going to be bad for NASCAR. That really upsets me. Like, how do you limit someone who's great? You can't make someone who's mediocre or average. You can't make them great. Just like you can't take someone who's great and make them mediocre. You can't take a Jimmy Johnson or a Jeff Gordon and make them mediocre. You can't do it. Politics needs to leave the sport. Okay, so Truex in 2005 and in 2004, he had 6 wins in both them seasons, Xfinity Series. In 06, he had only 1. He had no wins in the Truck Series, in 2 starts. In the K&N Series, he had 5 wins. So Busch, it took him 10 seasons like Logano. And what people don't understand is sometimes you need to be on a different team to be revived. And obviously, Logano's case, he went to Penske and it revived his career. He wasn't able to do anything in the 20 car for the Home Depot and Joe Gibbs in his first couple. I mean, he was young anyway, so people compare Kyle Busch to Richard Petty, which is ridiculous. Because out of the 200 wins, 95 of those wins come from the Xfinity Series and 55 from the Truck Series, and none of those 2 series has Kyle Busch ever been full-time in. He has, 54 wins in the Monster Energy Cup Series? So what? You shouldn't be comparing him to anybody else. That would be like Barry Bonds back in the day, who hits home runs for a living, going and playing for against college students or high school students. The young drivers trying to get experience in and maybe in hopes of one day making it to the Cup Series. When we look at last year's playoffs, Logano averaged an 11.6 finish in the regular season. And this is what people don't understand. He had only 1 win in that regular season. Like I said, once it comes to regular season, all that stuff in the regular season don't matter no more. He had the best average finish, which was a 9.4. And he had 2 wins, in which one was at Martinsville and one in the championship. So he had a total of 3 wins with the championship. When you look at Kevin Harvick in the regular season, he had 7 wins with an average finish in the regular season of 7.4 and 7 wins. When it came to the playoffs, his average finish was 12.4 with 1 win. When it comes to the 18 regular season, he had a best average finish of 7.5 like Harvick. It was just a little bit less. He had 6 wins. But when it came to the playoffs, he had only 2 wins and a 10.8 average finish. When it comes to Martin Truex Jr., he had an 11.4 average finish with 4 wins. When it came to the playoffs, yes, his average finish improved to a 9.4 or 9.8, but he had no wins. So, like, when you look at an example of the Xfinity Series last year, Tyler Reddick only had 2 wins with 7 top 5s. But you look at Christopher Bell, who had 7 wins and 18 top 5s, but didn't win. Like Justin Allgaier, he has 17 top 5s, but only 5 wins. Yet people are upset because Tyler Reddick won. It is a determination. Like, you're not determined in life because you have all these wins. Them accolades is garbage. What makes someone successful is when they don't stop, when they don't quit, when they don't give up. Dude, we can look at names throughout history of NASCAR. For an example, like Dick Trickle, an iconic name, 303 starts in NASCAR, 0 wins. He had 15 top 5s, he had 36 top 10s, and 1 pole. An average start of 22.0, an average finish of 24.2. Did not qualify in the race 29 times, but yet he's still a name mentioned in the books as one of the greatest drivers who had never won a race. We're not talking about championships, we're talking about no wins in the Cup Series. We can also talk about drivers like Oh yeah. We're about to get into this. Let's talk about drivers like Ted Musgrave. Forgive me if I don't say his name right. 305 starts in the Cup Series. Finished top 10 55 times and won the pole position 5 times. His best season came in 95. Finished 7th in the standings with 13 top 10 finishes. With his best finish was 2nd, but never won a Cup race. But after the 2000 season, he turned his attention to the Truck Series, where he became a 2005 champion, winning 17 total times in that series. He had an average start in his career in the Truck Series with a 10.2 and an average finish of 10.4. So, and that was 192 starts in the Truck Series. So that's good. So, you know, everybody wants to base and get mad about Logano winning the championship because he only had 2 wins previously to the finals, right? But you look at Reagan Smith, 1 win in his total season. 12 years in the Cup Series, only 1 win. Yet, I think what determines an individual's success is their passion for what they do, not how they feel when they ain't succeeding. Because you see how people act when they're not succeeding. Their hatred, they're mad, they're cussing people out on the radio. That's not what this life is about. Life is about compassion. Yes, accidents happen. Someone slides on the bottom of the track. The truck slides, trying to make a move. Your passion is to win races, but are you always successful in that way? No. What makes somebody successful in life is their determination not to quit. Their determination to have a passion for what they do. That you are to serve your passion. You'll never let your passion serve you. Because when you do that, you fail. I don't care how many wins. Kyle Busch has a negative attitude, man. I don't remember not one of the 3 drivers last year, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, or Mark Truex Jr. ever congratulating Joe Logano. Not one time did I hear him say it. That is trash, man. I don't care who you are. You can have 405 wins. To me, your attitude is garbage. I don't want to see you. I don't care how many more races you win. If you can't be compassionate and congratulate people's success, y'all out here talking about who wins the most races, it's not that way. You've seen there's people throughout history of NASCAR that's never won races, but their name is still mentioned. Denny Hamlin, considered one of the great drivers that's never won a championship. Is he compared to people like Richard Petty? No. You know what? We should never do that. Let people be the great who they are. That's why I appreciated Jimmy Johnson in 2016 when he said he's not another intimidator. He's not another king. He's who he is. Jimmy Johnson is the greatest driver in this generation. You can be mad he wins all you want. You can't stop someone who's supposed to be great. You can't make someone great mediocre. And you can't take someone mediocre and make them great. Some people ain't meant to be great. They're extras, man. Get over it. Some people will never get opportunities for a ride. Some people will just be there because they love it. There's nothing else more to it. They don't care about the wins. They don't care about the losses. These people are on the track because they love what they do. Some of y'all need to learn from that. That's it. I see fans more mad than the actual drivers and owners. That's ridiculous. Like, you can't be more mad than them that's involved. Man, y'all have an awesome day, man.
Yeah.